Octopath Traveler 0 has done everything that I've ever wanted to be done in an RPG, a JRPG, and I'm really excited to talk about it today. So, without further ado, hey, welcome to Max XP. I'm Captain Clump, your host, and let's just get into it. Now, in my humble opinion, Octopath Traveler 0 is definitely going to be the new Final Fantasy of the modern era.
I'm just saying.
And what I mean by that is it's already getting a heck of an audience, and each game feels like it's just taking what's been done before and doing it even better. So let's just get into what I have to say about it. I've had plenty of time to play this game, and I do have some thoughts on it. This literally is like given that there's rings involved in the story now, is Lord of the Rings of the Octopath trilogy so far.
Potatoes.
And those who've played Octopath Traveler, Champions of the Continent say that this, has a lot of influences, or is kind of a remake from that. I have no idea. I'm not exactly an expert on Champions of the Continent, never really played it, so I will leave that to them. I'm just going to this game as a new Switch 2 video game, so let's get into the gameplay. One of my favorite aspects that Octopath Traveler 0 has is the new town building, in that when the game starts off, you're in this tiny little town called Wishvale, happy-go-lucky little rural village, and then everything goes downhill when turns out that there's a sacred ring that is hiding somewhere nearby, and three power-hungry people decide they're going to come in and wipe out the town while looking for this sacred ring. They don't find it. It ends up getting passed to you as a new ring bearer. And, well, now you have to rebuild the town, all while tracking down each of these attack dogs and putting them back in their place, so to speak. Now, the town building, basically, as the story progresses, you get to do more and more with building the town, put down houses, put down a ranch, put down a farm, get animals and seeds and stuff so you can farm and you can harvest all sorts of stuff. It's really, really cool. The town building aspect, I think, is really, really cool. And as you go through the game, you'll go to different towns and different cities. And each of these places, you'll find people that you can invite to your town, so you can have more people come to your town and bring a whole new life back to Wishvale. I think that is a fantastic little addition to the Octopath Traveler formula. It adds a whole new depth to what this game already is. And honestly, like the recruiting system, which you get to recruit up to 30 party members, and each party member has their own little personality, style. Recruiting people to come to your town and to offer little benefits to the town. I think that's something that I never would have expected out of an Octopath Traveler game, and yet they pulled it off perfectly. The gameplay, when it comes to the battles, it's the typical turn-based system that Octopath Traveler is known for. However, there are some new little inclusions in there, in that not only do you have your 4 main front row attackers, you now have a back row, and you can switch between the characters in the front and the back rows. So say your characters in the front are starting to get a little exhausted, you can switch to the character in the back, let the guy in the back row recharge. It adds a whole new element of strategy, and I think that's really, really cool. That's taken what was already an excellent battle system and it's made it even better. It seems as the other Octopath Traveler games, you have your battle points that build up turn by turn, and then you can use 4 of them to use 4 actions in one turn. That can turn the tide of the battle if you strategize correctly. You have special attacks, you use SP. I really have never been particularly conservative with my SP in the games recently.
All of it?
At least in Octopath Traveler 0, I've just sort of barreled heavy into doing as much damage as I possibly can, which so far has served me well. The whole point of the battle system is to break the enemies. Each enemy has weaknesses with different weapon types or different magic types. The point is to break them so you can get through the defenses and you can attack them without issue. Strategizing and using that break mechanic, particularly in boss battles, which there's not only the main story boss battles, but now there's boss battles, sort of like in Tears of the Kingdom, there's boss battles just in the wild. You'll go to a dungeon, and at the end of the dungeon, there's just a field boss there for you to take on. That I think is really cool. It adds a whole new aspect to delving into dungeons in this game. You need to strategize on how to use your boost points, how to use your SP, how to rotate between your front and your back row. You'll build up job points and use those job points to unlock more skills, which can benefit whether the character is in the front or the back. There's a whole lot that you can do in this game that makes it, I don't know, it makes the game more intricate as far as gameplay goes. goes. Now, the world itself, just like the other Octopath Travelers, is semi-open, but you'll find that when you get to the entrance of another section of the world, there's a sort of like, you need to be this is the recommended level. You'll find that there are places that you really do not want to go. If you're like level 10 and there's a level 30 area, yeah, don't go there. That's a bad idea. So everything that has been good about Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 has been done even better here. As far as the story is still one of the best points of any Octopath Traveler game, and I like the first Octopath Traveler game's stories. I didn't like that they had like individual character stories, that there really wasn't that much tie-in between the characters. There, in Octopath Traveler 2, they did a little bit better. There was a little more tie-in between the characters. But in this one, there's 3 storylines because there's 3 enemies that you need to take down. And then there's, the restoration storyline with bringing Wishvale back up to what it was before, if not better. But it's still one story with one central character. Your protagonist that you created at the beginning of the game follows their struggle against these 3 jerks that just obliterated a town just for the sake of greed.
You suck.
Now, I personally went the route of wealth because while power and fame were the attack dogs, I wanted the person that let them off the leash. So that's where I started. And of course, as you go through the game, you actually get to play all 3 of them if you want simultaneously. That's the nice thing about this game, is you take the story at your own pace and just go through each part of the story as you see fit. Now, I did notice that the leveling system with the story part isn't nearly as egregious as it was in 1, and 2 was a little more manageable, but this one, the leveling system, when you go from, chapter 1 to chapter 2 in the stories, it flows a lot better in that, you can jump from one part to the next part without severely grinding to get there. And that is one thing that other people have noted, is that this game does feel a lot easier than the other 2. But I think for people that are new to coming into Octopath Traveler, that's going to be a really good thing. So the story I really, really like. As far as the aesthetics go, one of my favorite things about Octopath Traveler has been the art, and the art for the characters has been done so much better in this game. I really like the art style for Octopath Traveler 0. It feels a little more, anime compared to the other 2, but at the same time, there's just a familiarity now with the Octopath Traveler style. It has a very beautiful watercolor style with, the character art. And, we bring back a couple of characters from Octopath Traveler 1, and by a couple, I mean the entire cast of Octopath Traveler 1. Yes! And the art style for them, I think, is improved quite a bit. Now, as far as the world goes, we do still have that HD 2D style. It doesn't look as good as the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remakes, but it's still such a good looking style. I love the world. I love the water effects they add with this HD 2D style. And while I'm not normally a pixel guy, I like the style that they use for Octopath Traveler 0. Last little part, the music. Nishiki never misses. And I did notice that a lot of the tracks were previous tracks from Octopath Traveler 1 and 2, but there's obviously some new ones, particularly in Wishvale. But again, the Frostlands music, it gets me every single time. I love the music of the Frostlands. This is a game that literally, like, the music is so entrancing. As soon as I hear it, I'm sucked back into it. Like, even when I'm like just driving in the car, I like to listen to the Octopath Traveler soundtrack, and now I have to add Octopath Traveler 0 onto that list because the music is beautiful. It's one of my favorite parts of the game. Now, everything put together, the gameplay, the battle system, the world, the town building, the story, that's now just one whole. The beautiful art style, the beautiful graphics, the gorgeous music, everything put together, Octopath Traveler 0 has to be, in my opinion, the perfect JRPG. The perfect JRPG that has been made in this modern era. And I do honestly think Octopath Traveler is going to be a new top-selling series. I just think Square Enix needs to do a little bit more with the promotion part of it, because this game deserves to be in as many hands as possible. I hate to give a game a perfect score, but I have to do it for Octopath Traveler 0 because it has done everything that I've ever wanted a JRPG to do. So with all that being said, here's my score for the game. If you have any ideas or opinions, guess what? There's a comment section below. Make sure you sub. We are at 230 subs last time I looked. I really do want to see if we can get to 250. So we need 20 more, and that's that's kind of up to you guys. You guys got to share. You guys got to, if you haven't subbed already, please do hit that subscribe button so we can get those numbers up, because, you know, we got to hit them goals. And, you know, it's nothing on you. It doesn't cost you anything, not even a penny. And I mean, the only thing that will happen to you is, you know, my videos will show up on your subscription feed. And that's really the only difference that you will see. But if you subscribe, it's a big difference for me. If you like, same thing. If you leave a comment, same thing. And I do like to read the comments, and I do like to try and make videos responding to those comments. So all that said and done, that is what I have to say about Octopath Traveler 0. Hope you liked the video, and once again, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and share. And we'll see you next time.